Pennsylvania is an anomaly within the United States. The southeastern part, home to Philadelphia and about 7.5 million people, is firmly part of the Northeast Corridor. And the western part, home to Pittsburgh and 2.9 million people, is far more industrial like Ohio. And then there's Pennsylvania's big empty middle, home to only about 2.6 million people, but in an area far larger than either its east or west. So why don't more people live in central Pennsylvania, and why is Pennsylvania's east so different from its west? I love studying Pennsylvania because, in my opinion, there's no state with a greater difference between its two ends. People often think that Northern California is very different from Southern California, but truly and historically, Eastern Pennsylvania might as well be a different state than Western Pennsylvania, at least in some respects. And of course, just like with all states, there's a big, mostly empty gap separating these two halves. Well, as usual, the state's unique geography plays a crucial role in today's story. Pennsylvania comprises a diverse range of physical geography, especially as you move from the east to the western parts of the state. The state spans several distinct geographic regions, each with its own topography, climate, and of course, natural features. Starting in the east, Pennsylvania begins in the Atlantic coastal plain, a narrow strip of low-lying land along the Delaware River, which encompasses the Philadelphia metropolitan area. This region is mostly flat with elevations just above sea level. The coastal plain's fertile soils historically supported agriculture through the 1600s and 1700s, though much of this land is now urbanized. The Delaware River, a significant geographic feature here, has also played a vital role in the region's development, providing a waterway for transportation and, of course, trade. Moving westward, the land rises into the Piedmont Plateau, a region of gently rolling hills and valleys that stretch across southeastern Pennsylvania. The Piedmont is known for its rich agricultural lands where dairy farms, orchards, and fields of corn and soybeans are very common. The landscape is dotted with small towns and cities, and the region's moderate climate and fertile soils have made it one of the most productive agricultural areas in the state. The Piedmont Plateau's rolling terrain is highlighted by a surprisingly complex geology, which adds to the region's scenic beauty. Eventually, the terrain shifts dramatically as you enter the Ridge and Valley region, part of the larger Appalachian Mountain Range. This region is characterized by long, parallel ridges and valleys that run in a southwest to northeast direction, something that is well highlighted on almost any map of the state. These ridges create a landscape of alternating highlands and lowlands with elevations varying significantly within short distances. The Appalachian Trail, a very famous hiking path, follows the ridgeline through this region. The Ridge and Valley region is also known for its karst topography, where underground limestone dissolution has created caves, sinkholes, and springs. As you continue moving further west, the landscape rises again into the Appalachian Plateau, which occupies much of central and northern Pennsylvania. The region is home to the heavily forested Allegheny National Forest, with large expanses of hardwood forests, state parks, and gamelands. The Allegheny Front, a prominent escarpment marking the eastern edge of the plateau, provides dramatic views of the valley below, and the plateau's geology is rich in natural resources, including coal, oil, and natural gas, all of which have played significant roles in Pennsylvania's industrial history. The plateau is also home to the famous Pocono Mountains, which has long served as one of Pennsylvania's most prominent vacation hotspots. As you reach the western edge of Pennsylvania, the terrain transitions into the flatter lands of the Ohio River Basin, where Pittsburgh is located at the confluence of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers, which combine to form the Ohio River. This region, known as the Pittsburgh Low Plateau, features rolling hills and broad river valleys. The rivers have been crucial to the region's development, supporting both transportation and industry. Pittsburgh's location at this natural crossroads made it a key industrial center during the steel boom of the 1800s and early 1900s. Finally, in the far northwest corner of the state, Pennsylvania touches the shores of Lake Erie. The Erie Plain is a relatively flat, low-lying region that benefits from the moderating effects of the lake, which creates a unique microclimate ideal for growing grapes and other fruit. Erie, the region's largest city, serves as Pennsylvania's primary access point to the Great Lakes, linking the state to the broader Midwest. The transition from eastern Pennsylvania to western Pennsylvania is dramatic. And it's this exact physical geography that has played a big role in why Pennsylvania has developed the way it has, with two distinct areas in the far east and west, and mostly open lands in the middle.